Today, we are very excited to present additional discovery at the Brezani polymetallic multi-domain target on our Brezani prospect in Bosnia and Herzegovina. As you saw with the previous press release, we have released the macroscopic observations of our drill intercept at about 450 meters depth of a feature that, frankly speaking, we initially did not expect. However, we're very pleased with the results and with the potential of further exploring this epithermal corridor that shallows towards the northeast. So again, we're going to go briefly through the initial due diligence things, forward-looking statements. So please take your time to familiarize yourself with the forward-looking statements of Terra Volcanica Resource Corp. I am the company's designated qualified person as per 43-101 regulations. And again, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to our project and chief geologist, Sam On, to tell you all about the exciting assay results from the epithermal intercept at the Brezani target of the Brezani project in eastern Bosnia.
Thanks, Alex. So, as Alex has already alluded to, this recent discovery of ours is located at the Brezani project, which again is within the Western Tethyan belt of southeastern Europe. And the Brezani project encapsulates really the only expression of this at surface. So during 2023 at the Brezani target, we drilled just over 1,000 meters, where we extended the initial discovery hole down to a depth of 674 meters. We've also followed up and expanded the footprint of skarn on surface with 4 drill holes that averaged 136 meters depth. So the Brezani target sits in the southeastern part of our Olovina license, and it really straddles the contact between the intrusive units here in orange and the carboniferous basement here in the gray. Extensive calc-silicate alteration is seen at surface, which is gold-bearing, and we can follow on surface for over 700 meters along strike. Brezani is a standout magnetic high, and this is corroborated by the soil geochemistry, which gives a greater than 1 ppm bismuth shell over 1 kilometer, and within that, we have the gold anomalism over 700 meters of strike length. Brezani was discovered in 2021 by our surface work, the large aeromagnetic anomaly, and then the soil anomaly that sits directly on top of that. In 2022, we drilled 2 drill holes. 1 drill hole was lost in poor ground, but still returned 29 meters at just under 0.6 grams per ton gold equivalent. Brezani 2, 88 meters at 0.61 grams per ton gold equivalent, both of these intervals starting from surface. In 2023, we continued Bred 2 down to a depth of 674 meters. On the way down, around 480 meters, we intercepted a new discovery, a zone of epithermal polymetallic mineralization. There's a sharp contact between a silicic hornfels and a breccia and vein zone, which extends for just under 20 meters downhole. The sharp contact goes into millimeter scale banded chalcedonic quartz, calcite, rhodochrosite with a mixture of base metal sulfides and sulfur salts. As you progress into the middle of the structure, you start to see more base metal mineralization cementing a hydrothermal breccia, which has again then been overprinted by further sulfide veining events. Moving to the bottom of the structure, we see again the millimeter scale banding of sulfides, carbonates, sulfur salts, and chalcedonic quartz. And then you progress into a large zone with sporadic veining and argillic alteration in the footwall. Taking a close-up of some of the core, you see here a section of HQ3 drill core, and the millimeter scale banding of sulfides, chalcedonic quartz, and carbonates. Patches of small brecciation, which has been cross-cut by later fluid flow sulfide veinlets. So this indicates to us that this structure is long-lived and has been subjected to pulses of fluid over time, which is related to these brecciation events and sulfide cementing, sulfide veining. You can see this returned 0.9 meters at 386 grams per ton silver equivalent, and this one here, a meter at 204 grams per ton silver equivalent. Now, looking at this discovery as a whole, we managed to return 19.6 meters, 91 grams per ton silver alone, and converted into 253 grams per ton silver equivalent. Now, within that, there's a higher grade portion, which I've just shown in the core photos, and that runs 139 grams per ton silver over 9.8 meters with 1.49% antimony. So the implications of this discovery: in its nature, it's intermediate to low sulfidation epithermal. The presence of the base metals alongside the chalcedonic quartz and millimeter scale banding could indicate presence slightly below the major zone of fluid boiling, which could indicate a shallower target for us to follow up on with higher precious metal contents. And this again adds to the styles of mineralization that we're seeing at Brezani into this polydomain system. Looking in cross-section now, we have the magnetic shell of the 95th percentile from our airborne survey. On top of that, we have a voxel of conductivity and topography. On surface, Brezani 2 is collared in calc-silicates, which extend along this hillside for over 700 meters. And you can see the interval that we returned in 2022 drilling efforts. We intercepted the sulfide veining zone here, where you have this change from more resistive to more conductive material, which we now know is the contact between the altered metasedimentary package on top of skarn and hornfels into the porphyry domain below. This conductive feature rises up to the east-northeast, and it goes through a dip in the magnetic signature here. At surface, we see a topographic low in which we can sample anomalous gossans of epithermal nature. And this indicates to us that you may have more veining coming up into this structure to the east, and offers us targets for drilling towards the east where we can intercept this vein structure shallower. So in total, the Brezani assays so far, we've got the shallow drilling from the first year of drilling at Brezani, where we returned 0.5 gram per ton gold from surface over 88 meters. And now we've added to that in the same drill hole at depth, another interval of mineralization that we have discovered. What's also pending release are 4 shallow drill holes where we have extended the skarn mineralization and targeted that shallow portion of the deposit.